Welcome to Build Strong Habits podcast channel. This is an audio podcast, so take your eyes off the screen, sit back, relax, and listen.
Well, buckle up for today's deep dive. We're going to go through some stuff that's, well, pretty wild. Like, Elon Musk is up to his eyeballs in politics. There's this whole men's strike thing gaining traction. And get this, there's a guy making a business out of yelling at people's bosses for that.
Yeah, it's like, how much can society change at once? All these stories are kind of about power, right?
Yeah, who's got it, who wants it?
Yeah.
Like, what happens when the old rules just, poof, disappear?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Elon Musk, we all know he likes to, speak his mind.
Right.
But his involvement in Trump's reelection, that was next level stuff. I mean, we're not talking just some tweets here and there.
This was serious involvement. Like, he poured a ton of money, something like $200 million, into that super PAC supporting Trump.
Oh, wow.
Which, those things can really swing an election. And that's like one of the biggest individual contributions we've ever seen.
Yeah. And it wasn't just money either.
Yeah.
Like, there are all these reports that he was practically living at Mar-a-Lago after the election.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, giving his 2 cents on who should get appointed to what, even allegedly being on calls with world leaders. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. Someone with zero experience in government suddenly having that much access.
Right. It makes you wonder, what does it mean when someone who made their billions from electric cars and, launching rockets is suddenly whispering in the ear of the people in charge?
Yeah.
Is this a good thing, like fresh perspective, shaking things up in a good way? Or is this going to lead to, instability, conflicts of interest?
That's a good point. Like, on one hand, yeah, maybe Musk's business smarts could help streamline things, make the government more efficient.
Right.
But on the other hand, what if his own business interests end up shaping policy decisions, to benefit him? It feels ethically iffy.
Yeah. And to make things even weirder, Trump recently announced Musk, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, is going to be heading up the new Department of Government Efficiency.
The what?
The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as they're calling it.
Wait, DOGE, like the meme.
Yep, apparently so. Now, it's not an official government department, more like an advisory group.
Okay.
Focused on, making the government run better.
Okay, that is both kind of hilarious and a little alarming. So, is Trump relying on people like Musk a sign he's making the same mistakes again, or could this actually be a good thing? What do you think?
I think it's too soon to say what'll happen long term, but it's a bold move for sure. It'll be interesting to see how this whole outsider approach works out. But let's switch gears for a minute. There's another thing that's been gaining traction, especially with some women, the whole men's strike idea.
Okay, tell me more about that. What is a men's strike, and why is everyone suddenly talking about it?
Well, it's based on this thing from South Korea, the 4B movement. It stands for the 4 No's.
Okay.
No marriage with men, no kids with men, no dating men, and no sex with men. Basically, the idea is to completely opt out of romantic relationships with men.
Wow. That's a pretty strong statement.
Yeah.
So how did this South Korean movement end up catching on in the U.S.?
It seems to be connecting with a lot of American women who are, feeling disillusioned by the whole political scene, especially after Trump got reelected.
I can see why they might be feeling that way. So what are these women hoping to achieve? Like, what's the motivation behind all this?
There's a lot of anger, frustration, coming from the fact that most men voted for a candidate who's been accused of sexual abuse and who supports policies that, a lot of women see as bad for women's rights. They see this men's strike as a way to take back control over their lives, their bodies. It's like a protest, saying we're not going to play in a system that seems rigged against us.
Yeah, it's definitely a radical response.
Yeah.
I get the sentiment behind it. It'll be interesting to see if this actually picks up steam or if it fizzles out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really provocative response to the current political climate. Only time will tell what kind of impact it'll have on the bigger conversation.
Okay, I'm ready for something a little lighter. Tell me about this guy on TikTok who's made a side hustle out of yelling at bosses.
Oh, this guy is a classic. He basically offers a service where you pay him to call your boss and just let them have it.
Like a professional rage quitter. That's hilarious.
Pretty much. We actually have a clip of him in action. Let's give it a listen. Okay, here we go.
Whoa, that's our guy.
Oh, man.
Laying down the law.
I can't believe this is a real thing.
Right.
So wait, he's doing this for free?
Yeah, apparently the whole thing's non-profit.
So he's just out there like a crusader for the working class.
Pretty much armed with a phone and a colorful vocabulary.
Well, I need to get his number after this deep dive because these next few stories are pretty wild. Ready for a rapid fire round?
Hit me.
All right, first up, we got a cyclist in Oregon, got hit by an ambulance, taken to the hospital, and then get this. They billed him for the ambulance ride and his medical expenses. Over $48,000.
Oh, wow.
I mean, come on.
That's rough. It really shows you how messed up the American healthcare system can be. Yeah. You ever get stuck in one of those situations where it's like logic just went out the window? Oh, yeah, totally. Everyone's got a story about a medical bill that made their jaw drop. But what happened to the cyclist?
Well, he's fighting back. He's suing the ambulance company for almost $1 million.
Wow. It's like David and Goliath, but with legal briefs instead of a slingshot.
Exactly. Speaking of chaotic situations, our next stop is Haiti. A passenger plane had to abort its landing because of gang gunfire at the airport.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, they found bullet holes inside the plane. One bullet even grazed a flight attendant. Thankfully, none of the passengers were hurt.
That's scary. Like you think you're safe landing at an airport and then bam.
I know, right? Haiti's international airport was shut down for a while, and a bunch of U.S. airlines stopped flying there. It's just a sad situation. Shows you the kind of problems Haiti's dealing with.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next up we have something a little less intense but still pretty out there. There are reports, and this is unverified, but apparently some North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine have gotten hooked on pornography.
Seems they've never had such easy access before, and it's causing quite a stir.
Can you imagine? It's like a weird glimpse into how different cultures are. And what happens when people are suddenly exposed to something completely new?
It really is. All right, now for a total change of pace, Mattel, the toy company, had to apologize because they accidentally printed an adult website address on the packaging for their new Wicked dolls.
Oh, no. I bet that led to some awkward conversations.
Yeah.
So what did Mattel say?
They just told people to throw the packaging away. Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably. And last but not least, Prime is getting sued again.
This time, it's for trademark infringement with their Prime X bottles.
It seems like they're always in some kind of legal trouble. Misleading marketing microplastics, now trademark issues.
It makes you think maybe all that rapid growth has come with the price. But that's a conversation for another deep dive.
Right, we've definitely covered a lot today.
Yeah.
Billionaires getting into politics. That guy who yells at bosses for a living.
Yeah.
It's been wild.
Yeah, it really has. And you know, what's weird is that all these stories, they seem so different, but they all kind of point to this feeling that anything can happen. It's like we lost the instruction manual for, normal.
Right. We're all just trying to figure out what the new rules are. It's like
Yeah.
every day you turn on the news and it's bam, another crazy headline.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
It really is. And with so much information coming at us all the time, it's easy to just feel overwhelmed, even numb.
So how do we even deal with all this?
Yeah.
How do we stay informed but not lose our minds?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think it starts with, being a little skeptical. Don't believe everything you read. Question things, look for different perspectives, and watch out for those stories that just want to get you riled up.
It's like we need a filter for all the noise.
Exactly. We need to find those sources we can actually trust. Not the ones that just tell us what we want to hear, but the ones that are trying to give us the whole picture.
And maybe take a break from the news every now and then. Being plugged in 24/7 is just too much.
Totally agree. You have to take care of yourself. Stay informed, yes, but give yourself permission to unplug and recharge.
It's all about finding that balance. Stay aware, but don't let the chaos swallow you whole. Man, after this deep dive, I definitely need a break. But maybe that's the lesson here. The world is a crazy, unpredictable place, and we got to be flexible, think for ourselves, and maybe, just maybe, have a sense of humor about it all.
Well said. Stay curious, stay informed, and don't forget to find those moments of joy in all the craziness.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. What's got you thinking? What on earth is going on lately? Keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Build Strong Habits.